Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Monday, and that means it's Gargoyles Day. And this week's episode was Silver Falcon. When Matt goes missing, Elisa tries to find him by following up on some leads he had before he disappeared. And Broadway, intent on filling on not only living out a movie fantasy, but also keeping Elisa safe, decides to go with her. Okay, things I liked about this episode. I basically loved everything about this episode. First off, the main villain in this episode was Anthony Dracon, who is he's not really a main character, but he is an important enough character where they gave him a name. Now, by not a main character, I mean he's not Xanatos, he's not Demona, he's not Macbeth, who are all villains who know about the Gargoyles. Well, he knows about them, but know about the Gargoyles and their connection to Elisa and everything else about them. And what I mean is he knows about them, but he doesn't have the same knowledge of them that, Macbeth or Demona or Xanatos has, is that he knows they exist. He's encountered them before in the season 1 episode, Deadly Force, I believe was the name of the title. But he doesn't know about their connection to Elisa. He doesn't know that they spent 1,000 years in a stone sleep. He doesn't know that they're from Scotland. He doesn't really know anything about them other than that they exist. He doesn't know their names. He doesn't know that they're gargoyles. To him, they're just these creatures that, pop up every now and then and get in his way, basically. That's all he really knows about them. So is he a main villain in the series? No, he's not. He's just kind of a side villain. He does show up every now and then and cause some trouble, but not as much as, say, Macbeth or, not so much Macbeth, but say Xanatos or the Pack or Demona do, where they actually cause a lot of problems strategically aimed at, well, particularly with Demona and Xanatos, aimed at the Gargoyles. And they kind of know the Gargoyles' strengths and weaknesses to a degree, although the Pack not so much, but they do know that they do know more about, the Pack does know more about the Gargoyles than Dracon does. Secondly, this is probably the first episode we've seen where Elisa has or does something with another gargoyle that is not Goliath. Up to this point, anytime we've seen Elisa go on some kind of police assignment or whatnot, and one gargoyle tags along, it's always been Goliath. This is the first time where we don't see any other gargoyle. Broadway is the only gargoyle we see, well, living gargoyle, we see in the whole series. I mean, Brooklyn and Lexington are mentioned, but we don't see them. So this is solely a little episode kind of devoted to Elisa and Broadway, and him kind of living out this movie fantasy and whatnot, because he kind of likes these old black and white 40s detective movies, and he's kind of living that out while Elisa's just trying to work her case and find her partner. And does Broadway get in the way a little bit? Yeah, he does. He's an amateur. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He doesn't have the training. He's just basically mimicking what he's seen on TV. And he is kind of getting in Elisa's way to a degree, but is he an asset to this investigation? Yes, he is, because he's able to do things that Elisa can't. And he's able to go into places she legally can't go into. So there's an upside and there's a downside. Big difference in this is when Goliath basically goes on these patrols with Elisa, he knows enough to kind of stay out of her way when she needs to do something that he understands that he doesn't know enough to assist her in the actual investigation part, where Broadway kind of wants to be in on that a little bit. So that's like the main difference. Will we see some more of, Elisa working one-on-one with some of the other gargoyles? Time will tell. But this is actually the first, like I said, this is monumental because this is the first one where we actually just see one gargoyle in the whole episode, which is Broadway. There will be others where we really only see maybe one or two of them and we won't see all of them. Or where the episode will revolve around just one or two of them. But this is the first one where we actually see that, where it's revolving around just one gargoyle, not the whole group of gargoyles. Well, actually, I take that back. I believe Lighthouse in a Sea of Storms kind of revolved a little bit more around Huts than any of the other gargoyles. But big difference here is that we actually see the other four gargoyles. The only gargoyle we don't see in that episode is Bronx. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. There really wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. It was very interesting, very good. Does it rate among my top favorites? It probably doesn't rate the top 10, but it's pretty high up on the list. This episode was a little different from most of the other episodes that we've seen thus far. First off, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first episode where we only see one gargoyle in the whole episode. It is the first time we see Elisa working one-on-one with a gargoyle that is not Goliath. And also, this is kind of, I like to say, like a tribute or a throwback or whatnot to the 1940s, 1950s police movies, where it's like old school mafia kind of thing. They're looking for a hidden mafia treasure, and the only clue they have is a silver Falcon, which could be anything. So it's like the hunt for the detective who kind of got in over his head, trying to find links to some secret organization that is linked to some kind of mafia group, and they're looking for a lost mafia treasure and whatnot. So it's kind of that throwback to that, which is kind of interesting and kind of a little different. Okay, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Please like and share this video if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and DeviantArt. I do have my name for those 5 sites right there on the screen, as well as and please note that the links for the 5 sites I mentioned will be in the description section. I also have the names for my I go by for those 5 sites up there as well. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing. Once again, the links for the 5 sites I mentioned will be in the description section. And if you're watching on Facebook, the link for my YouTube channel will be in the description section. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link for my Facebook page will be in the description section. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Feel free to check out my other Gargoyle TV talk videos. My other TV talk videos. And my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, YouTube subscribers, please note that if any of that all of my backlog videos that are not on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Again, the link is in the description section. And Facebook friends, same thing. Any of my backlogged videos that are not on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. Again, the link is in the description section. Okay, we will have an opening relatively soon. Well, by relatively, I mean within the not too distant future. For Friday and Sunday's TV Talk slot. And that means you guys get to vote on what show you would like me to do. Your choices for Friday are Knights of the Zodiac, My Little Pony, King of the Hill, and Wolf's Rain. And for Sunday, Dot Hack Sign, Horseland, Inuyasha, and Outlaw Star. Voting is very, very simple. All you have to do is write down which one of the 4 shows listed for each day you would like me to do a video on in the comment section, and or like or love a positive comment on the shows listed, and whichever one gets the most votes is the one I'll do a video on. Please keep in mind that if My Little Pony is selected for Friday, I will start with Generation 1 and then move into Friendship is Magic. Negative comments and dislikes do not count as votes. Voting will be until April 10th for Friday and May 17th for Sunday. I did have to push Sundays back a week because I missed yesterday's video, and I do apologize for that. I will give you a heads up if I need to change the dates again at all. You may vote as many times as you wish, but please keep in mind that in the event of a tie or absolutely no votes, I do have the final say. So far, the votes stand at, for Friday, 1 vote for My Little Pony, and for Sunday, 1 vote for Horseland. However, you still have about 6 months to get your votes in for Friday, and about 7 months to get your votes in for Sunday. So that should be plenty of time for you guys to get your votes in and make your voices known. Lastly, we finished as of last Thursday, the 14th of November. We are done with Avatar: The Last Airbender. That means that we will be moving into Legends of Korra this coming Thursday for TV Talk. So be sure to keep a lookout for that this Thursday, the 21st. As always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.